Chinonso. So we have Victoria and Chinonso, our Texas. A round of applause for them. Our speakers are also walking in, so a round of applause for them as they take their seats. We have Mrs. Uche Okoro in the house and Mrs. Oluchi Iseko. A round of charismatic women. Celebrate your women now. Look how scrumptious they are looking. We can do better than that. We can. I want to hear a bit of a
and our convener is also working.
Our charismatic mama, looking all good. All right. Thank you very much.
Alright, so as scavenger hunters, you can be seated. But we need 2 volunteers who just let's verify these results.
Yes. Who can tell us the people that they met?
Just 2 people, please, just 2. Or
2
one.
volunteers to tell us the people that they met.
Or I will pick someone. Okay, I can see a hand up. Please, can you come? Alright, so our first hunt for someone with glasses. So who do you have?
Lisa.
Sorry?
Lisa.
Lisa, can you wave? Oh, okay, yes. Second one, someone on heels.
Adana.
Adana, we can't see Adana's legs. Okay, yes, thank you. The third question, gold hair.
Shirley and Loretta.
Oh, okay, yes, okay, both of you, thank you. Fourth one, someone on jeans. Tabitha, okay, thank you. Someone in tech. Victoria, oh, okay. All right, thank you so much, thank you.
What's your name?
Lion. Titi Lion.
Lion.
Nice. A round of applause for Titi Lion.
Thank you.
I think Titi Lion was quite dedicated, Ado. Don't you think she deserves something?
We'll think about
it. Okay. All right. As we proceed in today's event, drum rolls, please. Let us welcome the one, the only Eniola Peters for her welcome address. You can do better than that. You can do better than that.
Thank you, everyone. Please, you can have your seat. My heart is full. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming early. My name is Eniola Peters. I am the convener. And today I decided to do it the way they usually do it. And that's why we did, right? Proper conference. You didn't read, right? So should I just read? Okay. And then I'll now do me. Okay. A smart woman doesn't just work hard. She works smart. She positions herself strategically and claims the opportunities she deserves. Now, there's a woman in this room. You woke up very early, not because you wanted to, but because there was just so much to do. If you were a career woman, you were already mentally sorting through your emails, preparing for meetings, rehearsing your big presentation, and wondering if I can finally find the courage to ask for that raise. If you're a business owner, you were already thinking about your next client pitch, whether that new marketing strategy would work. Would dancing on Instagram work? How do you juggle customer complaints, deliveries, and your finances while you're still being sane? Either way, you're running, balancing, giving your best. Please clap for yourselves. But yet, despite all the effort, all the sacrifices, all the extra mile, you seem to not get it. You feel stuck. Does it sound familiar? Is that you? Interestingly, it was me. The ambitious professional who delivers outstanding work but gets passed over promotions. The business owner struggling to scale and wondering if she's actually making the right moves. The woman battling imposter syndrome, questioning whether she's truly capable as she knows deep down she is. I know this because I have been that woman. And I know this because these struggles, these very conversations are what led me to start this conference. So when I first imagined this conference, I thought about all the brilliant, hardworking women I've met. I mean, look at Uche, look at Oluchi. Women who should be leading boardrooms, running, thriving, commanding higher earnings, yet so many of them feel stuck, overlooked, or unsure of their next steps. I talk about those late nights, those heart-to-heart conversations over jollof rice, where we whispered our frustrations out loud for the first time. The moments we rehearsed how to pitch an idea or negotiate better pay, only to back out at the last minute because of the fear of rejection. The times we watched others, sometimes less qualified, rise while we stayed put, wondering, what more do I need to do? The truth, hard work alone isn't enough. Success isn't just about doing the work. It's about knowing how to position yourself and advocate for your work, building the right networks and relationships, navigating your career or business with confidence and strategy. And that is exactly why you're here today. This isn't just another conference filled with motivational speeches that you'll forget by next week. This is about real, actionable strategies that will help you take control of your career and your business. Questions will be answered. How do you negotiate your salary or client fees without fear? How do you build a personal and business brand that commands respect? How do you grow in a male-dominated industry without shrinking yourself? How do you balance work, business, and personal life without losing yourself in the process? A career smart and a business smart woman is not just hardworking. She is strategic. She understands that competence alone is never enough. She positions herself for visibilities and she commands value and she claims the opportunities she deserves. My greatest desire is that as you leave this place, you leave feeling inspired. You leave with a game plan. You leave with the confidence, strategies, and power moves needed to elevate your career or business. Today could be the turning point for you. Before we dive in, I want to say a huge thank you to my friends, Oluchi, Uche, Rasai, Vivian, Noye. They are going to be here soon. I want to thank you for making today possible. Now I'm going to myself. I remember when I thought about this conference, I woke up and I said, part of my plans for 2025 is to have a weekend conference. Now, weekend is Women in Career Advancement Network. Please, if you're part of the community, please can you raise your hand? If you're proud to be a community member, please can you raise your hand? If you're not a community member, you need to join today. Because weekend, so many people have testimonies from that group. So I said we have to have a conference. Last year, we had our first conference. If someone had told me in January 2024 that I would gather women, trust me, I would have laughed because I say it a lot. Women know the hear word. And it's the truth. That's why we have a lot of conferences for women because they know the hear word. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to get women together. I just want every other person, not women. And then I had the conference. The report was amazing. And people shared, women were crying, and it touched my heart. I'm like, why are women going through so much? I was still talking with my friend recently, and I said, did God actually create women to work? I still don't have an answer yet. Yes, I think I have an answer, but I mean, look at it. We do a lot, right? We're mothers, we're friends, we take care of children, we take care of baby number one, which is the husband. And if you're not married, you're trying to either find a husband and you're finding the husband that you want to still have a baby and still go through all those things, right? Did God actually create us to work? But then God actually created us to work. But in that work, we have to be smart about it. And that's why we are here. So my greatest desire, to be honest, I want everyone here living here fulfilled, finding that answer. So feel free, feel at home, feel cozy. Trust me, this is not a conference you should keep quiet. If you find someone you want to talk to the person. If you find someone you want to connect to the person. My speakers, my friends, I'm going to force them. I'm going to rope them into mentorship. So if you feel one of the speakers, you want them to mentor you one way or the other, please, and please, just make sure you find them. Mentorship is fantastic. And like I said this morning, a career smart woman has the right network. If you have the right network, it means you have the right friends, you have the right mentors, you have the right leaders, and then you grow in the right path. So thank you for coming once again, and please enjoy yourself.
That round of applause can be better. That round of applause can honestly be better. Thank you, Mrs. Eniola Peters. I've met a lot of women in my work and in my lifetime, but she's somebody that I know that she doesn't do anything for the sake of it. If you see her do anything, then it's because she's passionate about it. And very few women are passionate about what they do. So please, a round of applause for Eniola Peters. All right. Another drop in it, please. All right. So we have beautiful and amazing speakers here, ready to deliver their thematic addresses to each and every one of us. So like Ado and I had mentioned before, please be intentional today. Be present. Let it not just be, for the fun of it, take pictures, post on LinkedIn, but actually make efforts to not leave here. Yes, we want you to take the pictures, don't get me wrong. But please, leave here today with something. Take notes, listen, ask questions. I think to join the Women in Career Advancement Network, for those that are interested in joining the Women in Career Advancement Network, please kindly scan the barcode on the screen. We also have a Slido link that has been put up. So if you have questions while any of the speakers are talking, please drop your questions on the Slido link and we will find the time to ask the speakers those questions and get your responses. All right. Tech team, are we ready? We'll be inviting our first speaker in the morning. Please, a round of applause. One of our speakers just walked in, Mrs. Rhea Sai Jones Nubu. A round of applause for Mrs. Rhea Sai Jones Nubu. Looking all colorful, please. I want to hear a whoop. All right, we're going to be welcoming off stage our first speaker for the day, Mrs. Oluchi Iseko. Yeah.
We have a ground rule for our speakers, and if you all agree, then it is stamped. We know that when we hear career women, we think they are very serious women, that their lives are very boring, right? Right? That's what I thought growing up, at least. So we want to make it a bit different today. So before we bring up any speaker, we'll have them dance to come up.
Yes, they'll dance up.
Is that okay? Is that okay? Not
all the eyes say aye.
If
all the nays say nay. The nays are not loud enough. The eyes
So we just have very light music and then they will dance up. So we want to see the other side of them. We have seen the serious dance, the side, the COO, all of that. So we want to see that they can actually move their bodies. Is that okay? So I'm particularly looking forward to Miss Uche Okoro.
All right, so career smart women, a round of applause, a standing ovation, and a loud shout as we welcome Mrs. Oluchi Iseko for her thematic address.
Can we have the song? No, it's a lie, it's walk. It's walk.
Walk across the water.
Yes, okay.
Let's go.
Like you no longer have the strength to fight. 'Cause you see
Let's go. Let's go.
That's right. That's one.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure, really, it's such a pleasure. Eniola, thank you for this. Thank you for this. When I saw, in fact, this program, and I'm going to just start, right? I'm just going to start. My name is Oluchi Seko. Once, the first time she sent me the invite for this program and the write-up and what it was going to be all about, there are so many things that have started because you did this. Do you get? Yeah. Yeah. So many things have started. By way of introduction, I don't like saying all of that. Okay, I'm the chief operating officer of the Living Hospital Group. The Living Hospital Group is yeah, thank you very much. Oh, you know Living. So we have Living Children's Hospital and we have the cardio care. And as the chief operations officer, my work really is to run the business area. So if you come to Living Hospital, you are very unlikely to see me. Yeah, but if you have financial issues, then okay. So I was saying that in my course, in my career, I have seen a lot of women in career make so many basic mistakes. And as my slides, please, Tech, let me know when we are ready. And as my slides go on, I'm going to point that to you. You are going to start seeing a lot of patterns because the patterns are the same. The patterns are the same in Nigeria as they are in Gambia, as they are in Germany, as they are in New York. And over time, we find out that as women grow, as women mature, our needs change. And when those needs change, it's the how we react to it that is different. And so when I started thinking about the program, so many things started bubbling up that if we had 2 days, we couldn't finish talking about it. But you know what? You did well if you are here. You started right if you are here. I love it when they say, oh, there is this thing happening and there's some information to be shared. And some people just get up off their houses on a Saturday morning just to come listen to information. That's already a sign to me that you're going somewhere. That already tells me there is an appetite for knowledge. There's an appetite for information that gets you dressed up. I put this program on my WhatsApp status and I said, oh guys, I'll be teaching here. Please come around. I promise you it won't be a waste of your makeup. And I got so many people, giving me feedback. But the fact that you are willing to, and I like what the compare said, if you are a woman in career, your Saturdays are precious. If you work a 9 to 5, your public holidays are golden. So if you are willing to get up again and dress up again, something is chasing you. And the problem I feel with a lot of women is nothing is chasing us. And for those of you who nothing is chasing, you are chasing nothing either. And those are the things I want to talk about. So thank you for coming. I still have that to say thank you, Eniola. Thank you for putting this on. All right. So that you are not surprised when I start talking, I'm a Christian. Are there not Christians in the house that I'm sensitive? Are there non-Christians in the house? Are there not? So I'm free, I'm at home, I can flow. Thank you very much. Yes, I basically, I read, and we're going to talk about reading. But more importantly, I flow from the life I have in God. And you are going to see how that is important. It's one of the mistakes women make. You think you are that strong. It's one of the mistakes women make. I think it was the lady outside who asked me, as women, you have a lot to do. How do you combine this with family? And my answer is, a woman was designed to combine it with family. If you are a woman and you are doing just the one thing, you have underutilized capacity. You are wasteful. And if I start talking and I start getting blunt, I lead teams. I have a staff of over 400. It's not you. Yeah, the people I'm talking to, it's not, just pretend it's not you. If I get direct, if I get blunt, that's how I talk to myself in front of Nigerians. Like, you're not serious. You know you're a joker. So if that comes out, I have apologized. Let's start. Let's start. All right. So let's ask ourselves, why did you start a career? Why did you go into the job market? If you're in Nigeria, that answer seems or feels very obvious. Abi, there are bills to pay. Yeah, so if you have the slides open, as I mentioned, then just move along. There are bills to pay. So the first reason a lot of people go into a job, pick up a job, is to pay the bills. You are not wrong. In fact, God designed life and created this thing called hunger. Have you ever wondered, what if we didn't have to eat? What if I chose whether to eat or not? Your body will tell you that you need to eat. And I'm speaking both physically and metaphorically. There is also such a hunger called desire. The desire to take care of myself. The desire to have money, my own money. My son danced in church yesterday and won 5,000 naira. He hasn't stopped reminding me, I earned this money. This is because whenever he asks me for money, I say, you have to earn it, to do something. Sell me something. So yesterday he said, see how easy money is to make. I didn't even dance hard. Okay. So to make a living. The second reason is security. You can make a living, but then things push you around. That's the second need. And the way I think about this in my head, if you find yourself needing to work to eat, can I hold your hand gently while I say this? You are poor. It's not an insult. It's just a state, right? You need, like, if you don't work this week, and if that happens for 1 month, next month, you are going to be needing money to eat. You are poor. And some of us, we just came without the financial background, without the financial lifting, without that stability. That's just how it happened. We had to do that. But the problem is not being poor, the problem is remaining at that level. So I say the moment you have enough to eat, move on to stage 2. Start stabilizing stuff around you. Start securing stuff. Start putting money away. Start doing all the financial things. And if you are here and you don't know how to save money, you don't know how to handle money, you know what? Open YouTube and just start listening to people talk about money. There's something it does to your head. It's a way it bends your head. Start listening to people talk about $1,000, $10,000. You know, when I was 17, I had this $3,000. Just calculate the math in your head and say, where did you get $3,000 at the age of 17? It does something to you. So start thinking. Start thinking. Even if you don't do anything about it, and you should, start listening. Continue exposing your mind to money. If you work in a place where you get the opportunity to see your boss, and your boss happens to be someone who is wealthy, sit in the office and hear him say, move that 15 million from this place. Just expose yourself to that information. It does something to you. Start thinking stability. Number 3, legacy. This is why we work. Legacy. You want to put it aside. You want to be remembered for something. Until you get to this number 3, you are not rich. And some of you don't have money in your pocket, but you are thinking legacy. You are rich. And your life is rich. The moment you start thinking about, what do I do for those people? How do I eradicate poverty from the minds of those people? How do I eradicate the lack of this knowledge from a group of people? The moment your obsession becomes how to help others, legacy, you are a very rich man. I don't care how much is in your pocket. Rich man walking, like Belema. Next slide. Okay, foundational thoughts. Number 1, you were made to have dominion on earth. Anything, any suggestion, any idea that says because you work a 9 to 5, because you are supposed to be doing this, see, this is what I expect, anything that makes you small is not from God. If you work in a place where every day you are reminded of your nothingness, I used to work in a place where the boss will be like, I am the head. I have some of you that are my eyes. Some of you are my ears. The rest of you are my fingers. I move and you move. Does the finger talk? We say no, sir. Does the finger think? We say no, sir. Every morning indoctrination. You can't. I don't care how much you are paid there. You can't. This is the foundational thought. Created to be the head. Anything that fights this knowledge came to kill you is an attack. Number two, foundational thoughts. What's my next foundational thought? Sorry, we will get it anyhow. Success involves hard work. Whenever we hear smart woman, we think less work, more smartness. If you can't work hard, career success is not for you. There must be a stage of your life where you work like there's no day. Think about it. If you have not gotten to that stage and you are 30 and there was no time in your life where you worked 10-hour days, start. Foundational thoughts. This way I want to spend time. You must give it time. You must give it work. You can't be smart until you have done the hard work. I tell my staff, you do it my way. You do it my way for the first 3 months, for the first 6 months of your work. Then you are allowed to be innovative. Do it the way I know it works first. And if that way is longer, do it. There is no smart work until first you do hard work. Foundational thought. Number 3, foundational thought. If it's a career, you have to work on it in the same line, the same thing, for a period of time. Otherwise, you are not in career. That's the meaning of career. A singular profession. I do many things. I don't put all of them up so as not to confuse your perception of me. I stand for one thing. I identify as one thing. I am a hospital management expert. When I wake up in the morning, I think hospital systems. As I'm looking at this place will be a fantastic clinic. This place can run about 12 to 15 clinics. The waiting area is over there. My offices are somewhere else. That's the way my mind works. Over time, you need to give your mind to a singular thing. Over time. That's what makes it career. If you are doing this as an entrepreneur, just to mention, if you are doing this as an entrepreneur, you have a higher risk, less security, higher rewards. If you are running your own business, it's risky, hunger will beat you, right? Higher rewards, long term. If you are doing it in paid employment, more security, less reward, less risk. And if you saw my first slide, I said succeeding as a career woman. Then I said doing your career as an entrepreneur. So yes, you are in career, but you cannot be relying and waiting for someone's win to say, you look nice, I'm going to promote you. That's not how career smart women work. Yes, now the next slide. Still on foundational thoughts. Your earning ability is a mirror. It tells me how much value you are currently giving out, plain and simple. The amount you are earning is what you deserve. How many of you feel you are underpaid? Only me. What's wrong with you guys? Oh, hey, thank you very much. If you don't feel underpaid, you are not working well. Yeah, if you are working and you don't think you are being underpaid, you are not working well. But I'm telling you that regardless of what you think, your current salary is a reflection of how much value you are able to exchange. Next slide. So to earn more, you must be willing to be underpaid. So those of us in the underpaid category, we are doing well. That's my point. Yes. Let's move beyond. Okay, just some statistics so that you feel the pain of what we're talking about when we're talking about the women. The first statistic I want to share with you, yes. In Nigeria, the women and the men are equal in the labor force. We are not marginalized. We don't have more men in the labor force. This is statistics 2024. Yeah, I know women would like to think, we don't have whatever. Not in Nigeria. There are countries where, in fact, our male to female labor force ratio is better than Germany. Yes, in Germany they have more men. They have 60 something percentage of men in the workforce. In Nigeria, this is us. So you don't have a job is that you don't like a job. In fact, in my office now, there are jobs that we're looking for, and we're like, oh, all the managers are women in this area. Estrogen is high. We are trying to dilute them. So we don't have this problem. But see where the problem is. Next slide. Men and more. That's the problem. Men have higher earning capacity. And we'll see why. Number 3. Yes. Yes. There's a 50-50 split, but as we go higher to senior management roles, as we enter the boardrooms, as we come to CEO meetings, what happens? Next slide. Next slide. 7% of women are CEOs in capitalized companies in Nigeria. 7. That means out of 100 CEOs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women. And less than 30% in leadership C-suite of serious companies. Think about companies of 250 above. So, in the same thing in my company, when you come to middle management, women, they are pushing, they are offing, they are puffing. When we now come to rooms where money is being discussed, we're talking about how to disburse. See 10 men. I think there are just 2 of us. 5. The second person is 60 something. So it's just like that's the thing with women. We'll find out what. Next one. So building a successful career, we'll talk about capital. Capital is what you need. Remember, my foundational thought is that as a woman, as a career smart woman, you must be working as an entrepreneur. So if you are going to be a career smart woman, do me the favor and pull out that part that says you show up at 9 to 5. And at the end of the day, somebody counts money and gives you. Even from day one. An entrepreneur doesn't think that. Do you notice that it's easier to work when it's your business? You get less tired when it's yours. The reason you get tired when it's not yours is because in your mind, you don't bear risk. It's not your responsibility. But to all my people who hear me, standing before you is Oluchi INC, right? We have a board chairman, we have a board secretary, we have the sane one, we have the bit crazy one, we have meetings, we talk to ourselves, right? And sometimes we appraise ourselves. I just told you that I look at myself in the mirror and say, you are not serious. That's one board member talking to another board member. You had this, your job was to deal with this thing and get us this thing. You didn't get it to us. You are serious. You must have those conversations with yourself regularly. And I'll show you how that men are able, by society design and pressure, men are able to get themselves off of this dependence on somebody, off of this leaving my fate and my destiny to somebody. And women are quite submissive, as if we took our bedroom submission and brought it to work. You need capital. The capital you need, just move to the next slide, move to the next slide, move to the next slide. The first capital you need is yourself, human labor. Yes, if you remember that economic class where we say types of capital, land, labor, whatever, the lowest and the basest form of capital is labor. You don't have money, so you got to work for somebody. But don't think that you're working for somebody is not capital. Because let me tell you something that rich men don't like to do. They don't like to work. They don't like to work. Somebody brought some data. Money was involved though, and I collected the work, right? But when I collected the work, in case you don't know, I identify as a rich person. I don't know what you saw, what you didn't see. When I say we are talking about we, that we are rich. So you can stay there, calling yourself whatever you like to call yourself. If you want to identify, it's free. We don't have ticket fee. Anyways, I take the work and I go to my staff, and the work is granular, and the work is manual, and the work requires time. And my staff tells me, this thing is going to take 5 days. And I say, no, we are going to do it in 3 days. How about a little overtime? I am willing to exchange money. I am willing to exchange, because I'm not going to sit down and do. There is one that comes to me and I tell my boss, I have passed. You have to insist on that, but know that your capital is your capital. That work that you are doing, your madam does not want to do it. So negotiate like you have capital. What's wrong with you? They are not going to do it. I'm not going to come and stand in front and be telling customers, welcome to Limi Hospital. How are you? Please sit down there. It's not going to happen. So if you know that I'm not going to do it, the question you should be asking is, how much are you willing to pay to get me to do it? You have capital. If you are well, you are fine, a head on a good shoulder, you have capital. The only problem is, how easy is it to replace you? That's the only problem. So the next one, communication, right? And the next one, I'm going to explain them in bits. So let's move to the next slide. When you're working with capital, you are earning per time. You clock in, you are late, you get penalized. You don't come to work, you lose pay per time. We need to see you 8 o'clock, right? You close by 5 o'clock. You don't get a leave and you go. You're in problem. Some of you have businesses, but you labor, manual labor. You don't open shop, you're in trouble. You don't answer customer, you're in trouble. Your time is the currency, is the lowest form of capital, but it is capital. This is the reason why we have so many women in junior management. But as we go up, they start to fall off. Because women, we are fine, and we give you good work. If I want to have someone in finance and I don't have a good process, that this meeting doesn't cover that scope. I don't have a good process, it's shaky. I need someone I trust. I get a woman. I get a young woman. They are less likely to cheat. I'm not saying they are not Jezebels, but they are less likely to cheat. You keep a man there, you are watching your back. So it is capital. The thing is, you don't know. And part of the reason for this conference is so that you know what you have. All right? You end by time. Next slide. You get paid because you showed up. And I don't care how specialized what you do is. I work with medical professionals. I have brain surgeons working with me. I have doctors that can get into your heart, and just ship a clot, and that is the difference between life and death. But the fact that you have to be there to get paid, you're a laborer. Laborers get grades, but you're a laborer. It's your time I'm paying you for. Doctor, how long is this surgery going to take? It's a heart surgery. Doctor, how long is this surgery going to take? This thing is very technical. Doctor, how long is your surgery going? 4 hours. Oh, okay, 4 hours. We actually pay so by the hour. Laborer. Next slide. Sorry, go back so I don't miss something. As a laborer, sorry, I'm using the word just as a dry show. As someone working, a lot of us are in this level. I can't take 3 months off. But one of the things you need to do is specialize. Pick one thing. I think I mentioned it. Pick one thing and specialize. All right, now the next slide. The next level is communication. The day you decide to get off your seat and learn how to talk, salvation has come to you. This is where women start falling out. Because there can be 50 women in a department. It's not that we don't talk. It's just we don't know how to talk. There are different things. You just open your mouth and you talk. Let me tell you what women do in the workplace. It's women that come into the workplace and say, now I'm at work. And they form seriousness. Don't talk to me at work. We are not friends. At work, we are this. This is not family. This is my work. And then go out with friends and dance and laugh and look irresponsible and video it and post it for all of us to see. Fine, you are living your life. Nobody can hold you at me. When time comes for leadership, we are looking for who people will respect. They've we've seen you finish. The day somebody asked you, you gave it to them. No, 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 no. I don't take nonsense from nobody. Right? Now, we need somebody that we will say you are in charge of 50 people. But unfortunately, we have seen you finish. Chinelo, I rather resign. Communication. That's where women start dropping off. From the first day you get into work and you will have your eyes set that this career, I'm going to be known for it. I'm going to be. There are things you just can't do anymore. There are places you just can't go anymore. There are foods you can't just eat anymore. Not in presence of people. You can't just be speaking pidgin. We are talking. These are career women, Abby. So we're not all about being ourselves and all those things, Abby. If you want that information, it's on social media. We're talking about career smart women. You can't be you if you is not leader material. Communication, learn how to talk. Learn how to talk to management. There is a language management speaks. Until you know how to take the work that is being done in the front line and change it to data and be able to communicate to me that if we do this at 60% every day, we are able to raise revenue by 10. Now you can speak language. Now you know how to talk. Staff are complaining. Staff are complaining that the work is too much. Laborer. We are speaking like a laborer. Communication is not that you know how to talk, it's that you know how to talk. In your organization, there is a way to talk. What you are hearing me speak is mostly what happens in the boardrooms where I attend. It took me time to learn. I told them a story yesterday. I was invited for a very big job, one of the biggest hospitals in Nigeria, from my workplace. And when I got to the place, I aced the interview until I was given a finance sheet. The moment I saw that finance sheet, I knew that interview was over. You know why? Every time finance brings their reports to us in the boardroom, they are trying to tell us that there's no money. I'm an operations person. We build things. We start projects. So I don't look at it. I shall know that I want a new machine. Can we buy it or not? If we buy it, how much is going to come out of it? We are going to be a big branch. That's all I know. I never looked at those reports. And that day I saw it. And my ignorance and myself, we shook hands and left that interview that day. Communication is understanding the language. Start looking at reports. Start looking at finance reports. Start understanding the lingua. Every room has a lingua. My friend has an educationist. If I enter a room and there are so many people speaking, there are things not that I don't understand, it's English, but I should be able to speak like that fluently. That's communication. The next strength, the next capital, leadership. You cannot be a leader if you don't know how to communicate. You cannot be a leader. This is a spectrum. It means that as I am now, I am working as a laborer. I am working as a communicator. You don't drop any, but there are levels you climb, right? As a leader, you are able to collaborate. This is where women fall out of the ladder completely. Because everything is an attack on you and me. Everything is disrespectful to you. Everything is an attack on your personality. You are touchy. One of the things, and I'm trying, is because it's a women's conference, I'm trying not to make this about men or women. But one of the things I have noticed about men, we can come to a board meeting and two men will disagree. Disagree, so they me, because I pick my fights. I'm not going to add my head. All I'm doing is like, Mr. James, no. The both of them will shout at themselves, hit table, meeting end. You see them on the corridor. Bro. And I'm like, excuse me, two of you were friends before now. Somebody just say, no, forget that nonsense. Excuse me, sir. No, you don't talk to me like that. This is not how we talk. I need you to retract that. Get out. Excuse me, this is not. Finish. Person said, no, that's not even it. You come outside the meeting and say, Mr. James, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you that discussion we had, I want to tell you that this is, I will not ask, this is, I said, no. This is how women are disrespected everywhere in the workplace. It will enter boom. Tomorrow they now say, oh, we need this project. Mr. James is back to do IT. Can I work with somebody else? Is there someone else in the... anybody but Mr. James. I can't work with Mr. James. The Stafford. They will not tell you because they respect you, but they're going to get into a room where you are not there, and you can't be the leader. That is where women start. You remember that 50-50? We all start where all of us are on the same level, we are all climbing. But when we get to the boardroom, if one person manage to make it, all of us are rooting for you. I beg, no go shout. I beg, no cry. We are just praying for you. These are the things that you need to. Leadership is about, I'm not even saying, it's not about a big skin. It's about a slippery skin. Let it fall, let it just drop. I used to have the compression times. I am fortunate I have an office that has a bathroom. So I get into my bathroom and I decompress. I breathe and I say, Oluchi, forget it. I know that was disrespect. Honestly, God was in that room. He saw that was disrespect. Honestly, that man, he will not take it. Oluchi, let it slide. And then you enter the next place. Oh, Miss Soko, do you have something for us? Oh, yeah. How now? They can talk to you. They can work with you. Leadership. It is capital. It is capital. This is how women slide out. This is how we end up saying women cannot lead. I have never seen a more fantastic leader than a woman because we have stuff these guys don't have. Next slide. Innovation. This is for gods. Yeah, this is where gods go to play. Innovation, where you can sit down, shut your eyes, you know how to pray, you receive a style from God, you receive something, somehow to do it differently, and you are able to walk up to someone and say, what if instead of doing this, we do that? And they say, can you handle it? You say yes. This is for people who are creative. It's fantastic that the first thing we know about God, for those who read the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning, God made. Like the first thing I'm telling you about it, hi, my name is Mrs. Iseko. The first thing God made, God created. The first thing. So here is where you begin to tap into your Godship abilities. This is for senior leaders, this is for board members, this is for CEOs. And I know there's a component of board, and I'll talk about it later, that's relationship. But the main reason you are skilled, you are dreaded, you worship the very ground you walk in, is that if she comes and looks at this, she will be able to see another way to create shorter wait times. She will be able to see another way to increase revenue. Innovation, the highest level of leadership if you ask me, the highest capital. If you are innovative, stop working for a salary. That's what women don't know how to do. Go and ask for a course. I wish I had time with you. Go into the room and say, what if I can make 1 million, 20 million? Go and ask. And say, what if I know how to do it? Your boss too wants money. There is no rich man who doesn't want more. What if I can? If you know you have this ability, they've been telling you, oh, you have this kind of way, you are creative or whatever. Don't go and start your own small thing again now. We have so many small things. They don't break even. Some people already have the money. Go and partner. Walk into his office and say, please, I know how to do this. And don't give out much. Because if you talk to any smart man, you will get it all. And don't, if you know this, start practicing it. But one day walk into the office and say, what if I can give you this? What if I can bring that partner? What if I can get us that business? You know how to talk. There is something you have. Go and make a deal. And sisters, please, don't make it a salary. Don't make it fixed. Should I kneel down and beg you? I know you are young. Don't make it fixed. Make it a percentage. There's no time to talk about it, but just take that one away. Start asking for cuts. In Nigeria, people are giving cuts. We don't have to be an IPO. People are giving cuts. There are old men running businesses all over the place, 60, 65. You come to them, you are 30, and they say, I want to do this with you. Don't ask for a salary. Okay, so move fast, move fast. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. It happens to me all the while. I'm working on it. So move fast. I'm not going to talk about these are skills. Skills you need to have, confidence, blah blah blah, decisiveness. Stop there. Go back. Go back. That's all I'm going to talk about. This is another skill needed as a career smart woman. As a career smart woman, you need to have this thing. I'm telling you about that metrics we talked about. Why women start dropping off. Decisiveness. The reason you are not decisive is that you are not sure. You are not a risk taker. You are not sure if I do it, will it work? This is how to be decisive. Get data. Where is data? Inside books. Why do women decide not to read? Which book are you reading now? And if you are here and you are still reading only fiction, I think we should have a teenager space, kindergarten space. The information is in books. The stuff you need to do, it has been written down. Somebody knew it, and the person wrote it down, and you can read, and you will not read. That's where data is. That's where that's where you are able to come out and say, I think because of this and this, we are able to turn it. The other reason is that you don't take risks. You were built like that. And when I talk about decisiveness, there is a part for books, and there is a part that is follow come. Intuitiveness. Follow come. God just gave it to you. Women are able to look at a person and say, I don't like the person. God gave it to you. I'm telling you now that it is more intuitiveness, 70% higher more in women. Genetically, it's a spectrum. Some men are like women in that area, right? But for women, generally, you are intuitive. So you can take gut decisions. That's what makes you decisive. And then your intuitiveness is shaped by the friends you keep. If you have friends that are always talking trauma, you will see trauma. Okay. Risk assessment and accountability. Own your mistakes. I hate women who come in and feel like we don't say I'm sorry, we don't say I'm late, we don't say, you know those ladies that walk into this and say, oh, apologies. It's not proper behavior. It's not leadership behavior. Let everybody else play the I cannot be attacked, I cannot be. Women in career are strong women. Let me tell you, the women who opt out, who say I'm not doing this, and then they go back home, and then they start this small business. I know some of them make it, but that's not a characteristic of strength. I have young women who come to me and say their managers are toxic, right? And they cannot continue. And I'm like, you work on you. You work on you. Do you know when is the best time to quit, in case you are thinking? The best time to quit is when there is no fight. So if there is fight, you will walk in it, you will walk through it, you will grow in ways you need to grow. I'm saying this because I know when you go on social media, they will tell you what they want to tell you. You will build yourself. And when everything is calm and people have forgotten, revenge is best served. That's not in the Bible. Anyway, accountability, I'm saying own your mistakes, but also own your success. Own your success. That's nothing women don't know how to do. Own your success. I was in a meeting yesterday and we just had a very big win. I went to a meeting. I had a discussion with the vendor. The guy shook my hand and said, I will do business with you for the next 3 years. And I came back to an office and I was saying, we thank God. Oh, this happened. And a man in the room said, it must be because of all those meetings I've been having with him in the past. With this guy, and despite the truth, we were able to get the deal. I think we deserve a congratulations. I didn't say that. I came into the meeting and said, you don't believe. And after all that, they agreed. I just told him and they agreed. And the person just jumped in and said, it must be. And I was like, it must be what? own your successes. I have to stop, but I hope you get it. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Emma. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for Mrs. Oluchi. I think that deserves a standing ovation. Ladies, really, I don't know about you, but a few of the things that I took, the last point, own your success. Women, we are too shy. Own your success. Speaker who just spoke. I and my co-compare got caught up and we didn't read your bio. Yes. So I want to sincerely apologize for that. But we're going to be moving swiftly now. And while our speaker was talking, the remaining of our speakers walked in. And like it's almost like a culture. Let's give our speakers a round of applause. Give them a woo-hoo! All right. We're going to be moving swiftly. Thank you so much. Insightful. It was really, 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 really insightful. Something that she said that stood out for me as well. She asked, what book are you reading now? In case you don't have a book you are reading now, don't worry. We'll solve that in this conference. The Career Smart Woman book is available. Please, don't leave here without a copy. That should be the next book you should be reading. All right. Up next, we're going to be welcoming our keynote speaker, Mrs. Noyelum Bujam. And sorry, Ma, you were not here when we spoke. So we have a little culture where our speakers dance up stage. So the music will play it for you. Technical, please get ready while I read her bio. All right. You can go to the back and dance. Do you, Ma? Then we'll cheer you on. All right. Noyelum Bujam is a seasoned professional with over 17 years of experience across various sectors. She holds a master's degree in global development practice from Harvard University, an MSc in computing, IT law and management from King's College, University of London, and a BSc Hons in computer science. Noyelum is the Director of Government Affairs at Microsoft, where she engages stakeholders on digital transformation and AI policy across Nigeria and emerging African markets. She previously worked at the Central Bank of Nigeria, leading initiatives to address financial inclusion and development finance. She also served as a technical advisor on the Sustainable Development Goals to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, where she supported socio-economic policy development. Noye's passion for education and sustainable development led her to found the Azar Initiative of Development in Africa, AID Africa, a non-profit aimed at alleviating poverty through mentorship, training, and scholarships for disadvantaged children, youth, and women. Noye is married to Honorable Dr. Chukwuemeka Ujam, and together they have 4 children. With a round of applause and a standing ovation, please welcome our keynote speaker, Mrs. Noyelum Ujam, for her keynote address. A timer will be placed on the table for you, so thank you very much.
Hey, good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for having me today. I'm a very shy person, so asking me to dance in public whilst I'm still, in my same mode, I think it's a big ask, but I hope I did a good job. Thank you for giving me this platform to talk to these wonderful set of women, and I can see some men in the room, so there's no discrimination here either. Thank you for having me. I hope that I'm able to share some aspects of my life that would inspire you. So, as the lady in lovely Lilac mentioned, I'm Noye Ujam, and I'm married to Dr. Ujam, and together we have 4 lovely children, going all the way from well, the first will be 21 this year, and then the last will be 9 this year. So it's quite, for some reason, there are 4 years across between all my children, each child, 4 years apart. It wasn't planned, but someone asked my daughter, I think it was about 4 years ago, whether I was going to have another child, and she said no because 4 years had lapsed. So at least no more coming from me. Maybe I'll start off talking about my early life. I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. I moved to the UK after a few years. After some time, where I went, got married, education, worked, and all of that. When I think I like to call myself and please, I'm not a poster child for anything. This is me sharing my personal journey. I like to call myself a housewife because that is my most important job in terms of being there for my household and helping to shape my children's lives, because that's shaping children. Because that in itself is a job, and a very important job as well. One of the things that I say to my children is that my first job is to make you a good citizen of the world. It is very important so that you don't turn out to be a nuisance. And I saw over the past few days, for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of news around some violence happening. So for those of us that have children, please, as we talk about our careers, it's very important that you put in the energy that is required to help your children and shape them as much as you can so that they too can be good citizens. As the speaker mentioned as well, I started off at Brunel University where I studied computer science, and then went off my first job at Atos Origin. Atos got this huge contract, and so happened that Atos Origin, is a consultancy not just in the UK, it's multinational, but it's a consultancy, and I was doing some work for them, and that's where my career started. Quite a deep end that I was thrown into, but I think that was also helpful because that then helped me to channel myself into where I eventually landed, which was IT project management, which was great. It fit just not just my career prospects, but the aspirations rather, but also fit my personality because I'm a very organized person, and I had an excellent manager who encouraged me to go forth and do all the project management certifications. So from very early in my career, I was Prince 2 qualified, and then I went off doing ITIL and some other things. For those of us that are in IT, probably understand that a bit more. But the point is that I went off to do quite a few certifications, and I'll come back to that later. I think if one were to ask me career and education-wise, what my biggest achievement is, I would say it was going to Harvard. And that's because I don't know that I wanted to do a second master's. That was not my goal. I wanted to go to an Ivy League. I'd gone to a Red Brick in the UK, but I wanted to go to an Ivy League. And I started off at MIT. And then I literally had started the program. And then a friend of mine said to me, oh, MIT is Ivy League as well, to be honest, but I think I had my mind set on what I wanted, and I'm very focused like that. But anyway, my friend told me about this program at Harvard, and then I went off, I registered, I started the program, and thankfully, we're here today, I was able to obtain the master's. You would understand where I'm going, Ben. I'm sure you're wondering, when she told me she went to Harvard, did they not announce that she went to Harvard? We'll get there. Anyway, having said all of that, What's the mindset of a career smart woman? I don't know that I have this answer, but I'll tell you what my mindset is. And if you happen to see me as a career smart woman, then I hope that it speaks to you or it resonates with you at least. So I think first things first, I would say that the workplace has challenges, and you need to be ready to navigate those challenges. The previous speaker spoke about being able to contain your emotions. It's very important. It's very important. I mean, I work with very difficult stakeholders on my current job. I didn't even talk a bit about my current job. Sorry about that. I'm the Director for Government Affairs at Microsoft, covering West Africa. And I'm primarily focused on Nigeria, but I cover other markets as well. And typically, it's engaging government stakeholders. That's typically what my work is about. And what I'm trying to do is to influence policies, legislation, regulations, in such a way that is driving digital transformation, AI adoption, economic growth. Those are the kind of things, conversations that I have with government and stakeholders and other stakeholders, but primarily government. So I have a very difficult job, and that's the truth. I don't in any way think that my job is easy. And I think that it's difficult because I am dealing with human beings with authority. And when you hold authority, when you are the decision maker, it is my job to convince you that what I am saying is correct. And not just so that you can purchase an item, but so that you can enact laws or make policies that potentially impact human life. I need to convince you. A lot of times I'm unable to convince, but then we are sometimes able to reach a compromise. I'm telling you this because when you're in the workplace, you need to understand that your way is not the right way. No matter how great your way is, it is not the right way. It is a way. It is an option. What you do is listen to someone else's option, share your option, and figure out a way to land somewhere in the middle, whatever we call that middle. The previous speaker spoke about being able to contain your emotions. It's very important because when you find yourself in situations where you need to negotiate, in a bid to convince, you must ensure that your voice is measured so that you're not going from pitch to pitch to pitch to pitch to pitch. Unfortunately, men in the workplace don't always face this challenge. And not because women quarrel about it, that's a valid point, but also because once we start to give our views, we tend to get a bit emotional. So we need to rein that in. You must teach yourself to contain your emotions. I don't mean to belabor the point, but I think it's important to hear it. You must teach yourself. By all means, when you get home, let loose. I do that all the time. I find somewhere and I call someone. So always my husband I call anyway. I think sometimes I feel sorry for him because, I feel like he's carrying the weight of my job on his shoulders. And I am livid, I am giving it everything, I'm upset. And when I come back, I put my game face on. That's what you do when you're in the workplace. It's very important. Now, we hear this thing where we talk about working smart versus working hard. It's critical to the work that you do. Example, and I like what you said about manual labor, by the way. For example, if we have 5 people that can help us get water from the door all the way to the stage, right? Can we by any means maybe use the 5 people that we have, identify the skills that they have, their strengths, their weaknesses, and use them to achieve our goal. Nobody ever gave any additional price for doing hard work. You may be praised and, oh, fantastic, but at the end of the day, what we want is to achieve the goal. So keep your eye on the ball. What's the goal? To get the water from there, point A to point B. So if you can use the 5 people, please use the 5 people. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not. I'll go back, contain your emotions. Who I like and don't like doesn't matter in the workplace. It doesn't matter. It's very important that you know this. Keep your eye on the ball. Stay focused. What is the goal? To get my water from point A to point B. I really, really, really dislike Miss Amaka. I don't dislike any Miss Amaka. The reason I've used Amaka, she's my sister. In case there's any Amaka here, I have a sister called Amaka. Okay, let me use Ebere. Ebere is also my sister. She's there. If I don't like Ebere, that's besides the point. Let's keep our focus in view. How do I use Ebere to help me achieve what I want to achieve, which is getting the water from point A to point B? It is important that you stay focused. Do not lose sight of your goals. Don't. Because that's where you begin to veer away from your path, and most times in a negative way. So please keep that in view. A lot of people say that when you're in the workplace, you should put your best self forward. When I joined Microsoft, I had just joined, and this is my 4th year in Microsoft now. I had just joined, and I was invited to some event anyway. And one of my colleagues who sits in I think she sits in Seattle, she said it is irresponsible to ask people or women to bring their best selves forward. You bring your most strategic self forward, because that's what you want people to see. When I'm at home with my children and my husband, I don't dress like this. They are not my business partners. I'm in slacks or in bubu, in bomb shorts and a vest. I don't dress like that when I am going to somewhere that I want people to take me seriously. I don't even dress like that to go downstairs for members of my staff cohort to see me dressed in that manner. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm asking, what do you want? If that's what you want, then that's fine. But if what you want is going to be tainted by how you look, please bring your most strategic self forward. When I'm at home, Lebera can attest to this, I'm always shouting. I shout because I don't know. When I'm upset, I shout, which I'm sure I'm not the only one that shouts when they're upset. I shout when I'm upset. But when I'm in the office and I'm upset, I don't shout. I can control myself. I know I can control myself at home, but it's my home. I'm at home. Please bring your most strategic. It's not pretending. That's not pretending. It's like saying that I need to talk to my family members the way I'm talking to you. No, I shouldn't talk to them like that. They're my family members. Remember to bring your most strategic self forward. When you're getting ready in the morning, I don't know, how many of you talk to yourselves? If you don't talk to yourself, please form that as a habit, as a culture. It's a good thing. Talk to yourself. I'm a very strict person. I'm extremely strict, extremely. Whatever the extreme is, I'm on that end. I'm very strict. As strict as I am with my children, I'm even stricter on myself. If I mess up, oh my goodness. If I could flog myself, I would. And what I do is I talk to myself. I discipline myself. I caution myself. I tell myself the things that I would tell anyone who made such decisions that I had made. It's important that you learn to talk to yourself. If you can, please imbibe that as a culture. It's a very good thing. Your work ethic is very important. Your work ethic and your character in the workplace. All of these things I'm saying are very related. Your work ethic, what do people know you for? When they say, oh, we're going to give Ms. Iberi a piece of work to do, would somebody say, oh no, don't give her that piece of work because it's never going to come out? We would never reach the end goal. Or would they say, oh yes, please give her the piece of work because we know it's going to be done? Your work ethic matters, no matter where you are. Whether you intend to leave the organization or not has no bearing on the fact that you need to do the job you're being paid for. Your work ethic matters. It speaks volumes when you are not there. It portrays to people who you are. It demonstrates your character to even people that have never met you. Strive to have an excellent work ethic. Let your word be your bond. My boss sits all the way in Dubai. I'm the only one in my team that sits in Nigeria. Nobody sits with me. I don't need anyone to sit with me. I do the job I'm being paid for. And I am lucky because I have a good balance. I'll come to that. Leadership. Regardless of what level you are, in that role, you are the leader. So be the leader in your role. Doesn't matter whether you're the most junior staff, doesn't matter. In your role, you are the leader. Have a leadership mindset. If you don't know how to make decisions, begin to teach yourself how to make decisions. If you find that you are constantly wavering, you can't make your mind up. Basic things today, and then make a choice. Time yourself. Okay, I need to make a decision. It's to help build the skill, by the way. It's not for you to every day wake up and say, oh my goodness, so this is a big decision. What am I going to eat today? No, I'm speaking to people there are people who cannot make decisions. It's a real problem. If you ask them, what are you going to wear, the blue shoes or the red shoes, they can have a meltdown, right? For very basic things. So maybe something that you can help with that. Give yourself 2 options, time yourself for 30 seconds, make a decision. After a while, increase the number of options to 3, maintain the 30 seconds, and try that and see. And then when you feel like you're comfortable with the food choice, move on to more important decisions that you need to make so that it helps you build that decision-making capability. I'm by no means saying that it's this pedestrian, but I'm hoping that it can help because I do know people who really struggle to make decisions and it impedes their growth because they are seen as indecisive. And it's not that's a really poor quality if you want to attain any leadership position. Now, work-life integration versus balance. I think I work a lot. I do. Not that I think, I do work a lot. And it's worse now because I work from home. But the way that my brain is able to understand it and process it is I have my own time. I lead my role. I am able to work from anywhere, literally anywhere in the world. Not completely, at least for extended periods. So it helps because some of my kids are not here anymore. So it helps me, not here being physically present in Nigeria. So it helps me, gives me that flexibility. I'm not overcompensating, but I'm appreciative of the fact that I am able to balance my work where hopefully nothing is lacking, where I'm not lacking in any way in on either side, and I'm not lagging either on either side. So if for instance today was a Friday and I had to go for my son's event, I would still have gone, but with the knowledge that I have work to do, right? So I would go and be feel very present, and when I get back, I'll probably work till, I don't want to tell you the time, but I'm an owl as well. I do my best work at night. So my point is, I've been able to figure that out, and it works well for me. If you have a family, everyone has a family. It doesn't have to be your children that you birth, right? Everyone comes from a family, hopefully. Please find a way to balance, and you need to, part of that balance is having fun. Nobody ever said that fun is a bad thing, but I like what you said again about after doing silly stuff, you record it, and then you use your hand and post it on the internet, and then tomorrow somebody does a search and they're like, okay. Believe it or not, when you get into certain roles, they ask you for your social media handle and they search you out. Even if you lie about it, even if you have a private one, they'll find you. I'm in tech, I'll tell you that. It's very easy because you drop footprints. So it's easy to do a correlation. I know my time is coming up. I'll go very quickly. I will take the importance of building a strong network. You need to find the right kind of people that can help with your ambitions. Don't center yourself around people that will not challenge you. If you're one of those people that has different friendship groups, in that you have a group of people who, oh, these are the guys I call when I want to have fun. Please don't spend 90% of your time with them. Apportion it appropriately. I don't have that. I'm not one of those people that is able to have different friends for different, no. All my friends are very challenging to me intellectually and by virtue of what they do as well. So and I don't have a lot of friends. I'm just one of those people that keeps a strong network of people, and they're just not just my friends, including people that inspire me, including people that I see can help me advance my career. Because I would say that last. Please develop a growth mindset. I don't love it, but I just see the importance of it. Education, going to school. Beyond my degrees, I have maybe, I don't know, I wish I could count it, but I can't. I should have before we got here. A lot of certifications, a lot. In fact, I've been so obsessed with myself because I haven't gone back to school, which I intend to do. I see the value of it. It may not be for everyone, but when I say a growth mindset, it's not just about formal education. It's about things like this. It's about learning stuff. I mean, the internet is such a fantastic tool, and you can learn all sorts of things. To wrap up, I'll give you nine things that as I was preparing for today that I wrote down. So I'll just read them out to you. First, I already talked about this, but first, your work ethic and character matter in the workplace. Don't let anyone tell you that you can behave anyhow you want. No, that's not correct. You can't behave anyhow you want. It matters. Number two, know yourself. Don't allow anyone define who you are. Define yourself by yourself. You can ask for input. I didn't say that you couldn't, but you need to know who you are. you must place significant value on your time. Time is money. There are times that I just want to watch Netflix. That's what I want to do. It's my time. I can do that. There are times that I don't want to do anything. Don't ask me what is going on the Netflix movie or the series or whatever I'm watching, by the way. I probably would never be able to tell you. Like, I'm watching something now. I can't wait to go back home to watch it. But don't ask me what it's about. I honestly don't know. All I know is that I enjoy the fact that I'm watching that. But there's something you can ask me about. It's Flash. I'm watching it. Who knows Flash? I'm watching it at the moment with my last, and I'm enjoying that. So you can ask me about Flash because he forces me to know it. Oh, mommy, no, this guy did this. Oh, mommy, you're not paying attention. Okay, let me rewind. This is not physics or chemistry. I don't need to know this. But anyway, you can ask me about that. I'll know that. Be clear on your ambition and action your goals. Write down your goals and have an action plan for your goals. Very important. Build your personal brand and stay true to it. Tweak it along the way where you need to tweak it, but make sure that you build your personal brand so that people know what people are able to tell you for what your brand is about, know you for who you are. Invest in learning and growth. The reason I took my time to tell you all of those things about my degrees, I was not showing off, by the way, but if you feel I was showing off, that's still okay. I like to show off when it comes to education and things that matter. Invest in yourself. Invest in your intellectual capability. Very important. Learn something new. Don't ever get tired of learning. Don't ever get tired of learning. I always say that you die the day you stop learning, and do not be biased to where you can learn from. My children teach me also. There's some things I know that I'm like, wow, why do I know this information? But they teach me stuff all the time. And my third born has this thing where he knows certain facts about certain things. And when he's talking about it, beyond the fact that I'm just in awe, like, I'm like, why do you know this? And my first always says to him, why do you know this? He knows it, and I'm learning. And sometimes it's information that is useful, as a human being. So don't be biased as to where you can learn from. Knowledge is power. Number 7, hone your skill. Be an expert in your field. Hone your skill. It is important. Be an expert in your craft. Know it, and know it more. The previous speaker spoke about communication. It is important. Sometimes you find that some person is not as smart as you are, but when they go into a room, they command the audience. They're able to speak. I'm really sorry to say that between the two of you, even though you may be smarter, this other person has learned how to captivate the audience, and people would be more willing to pay attention to that person than you. People say you can talk to yourself in the mirror, to kind of see how I don't like that in terms of, doing when you come on stage and do presentations and stuff. Some people say that they practice in front of a mirror. If that's the way that you can do it, do that. Communication is very important. Number 8, there's a direct correlation between your network and your net worth. I'll say it again. There is a direct correlation between your net worth and your network. Build a strong network. A strong network is more powerful and more valuable than any amount of money you can ever have. It gives you access. And finally, presentation matters. Please, don't walk into a room unprepared, physically unprepared. As much as I'm encouraging that you take time to hone your skill, build your craft, and do all of those things, please take time with your appearance. the first thing I see when a person walks in front of me is how they look. I'm not saying that it makes me treat them differently or not, but it influences the way I treat them. If you've never thought about that before, maybe just for a second think about it. And think about it when you meet someone new for the first when you meet someone for the first time. Presentation matters. Please present yourself. Thank you very much for the time.
If I still sitting down, career smart women. A career smart woman knows how to appreciate other career smart women, right? If you have gotten value from a session, from Oluchi's session, then you know you're in for it today, right? Please sit down. Thank you so much, Naira. I'm going to say a short story. They will soon chase me off, but I remember when I was getting speakers for this conference, and then I met you only twice. I don't know if you remember. Okay, so the first time I met her, I was eating starters, small chops. Can't remember. And then I was like, oh, this small chops is the best small chops in Abuja. And she said, oh, really? I said, yes. She said, I'm the owner. Are you serious? Can't remember. I'm like, are you serious? And she made me talk. And I was, what's that thing? Fan. I was a fan for a minute. And then she burst out laughing and said, ha ha ha. I was just pulling your legs. And it stuck. Can't remember in the very house. And it stuck. I'm like, oh, she has a good sense of humor. And then the next time, I met her, she was just very cool, calm. And then I saw her children. I mean, look at her. Her children are taller than her. Yes. And I'm like, how can she have... And she has a business called the Nina Georgia. She didn't mention it. And that's where I'm going to start the questioning from. Why did you start the business? Yes. No. Sit.
So so Nina Georgia is an outfit that I support my husband on. I mean, we do numerous things, but why did we start that business? That's a question that I've never thought about. However, I think by the way, I'm not your typical entrepreneur. So when you were talking about career versus starting your business and all, I'm a career woman. Like, it's not 9 to 5 anymore, by the way. It's that you go into the workplace, right? But I'm fueled by let's achieve CEO of the biggest company in Africa. I'm one of those people. That's why my ambition was I must go to an Ivy League. So I'm going back to your question. Nina Georgia started off because there was a gap that needed to be filled. And we saw the opportunity to fill that gap, and we went ahead and created the entity. And so I can tell you a bit about it. It does multiple things, by the way, but I'll focus on the policy advocacy arm of the business. And it's basically, we work across the continent where we advocate for progressive policies, basically. So similar to what I do in my job, actually. I know you're nodding your head because you're like, well, if you're doing it on both sides, yeah, are you not contravening yourself? Not necessarily, I'm just saying that, we saw a gap in the market and we took advantage of it.
Thank you very much for that question. Okay, so before I ask the next question, if you have a question, because there's a Slido app, there's a barcode, or I think what's the code. So please, you can ask your question. If you have any questions for her, I'll be taking 1 or 2 questions. So if you have, please write the questions, I'll be checking. Okay, so you saw a gap, right? And then you wanted to fill the gap. And but the question I have for you now is, what really motivates you as a career woman? Why do you want to be the CEO, COO, and the likes? Why? What's your motivator?
My daughters. It's very important for me.
Yeah, it's a good place to clap.
It's very important for me that they know that there's nothing called a glass ceiling. It doesn't exist. There are challenges, nothing called a glass ceiling. There are workplace challenges that need to be navigated, but I don't believe that there's a ceiling. Do people say that there are ceilings? Yes, and they are right to believe that there are ceilings. I just don't believe it. That's my conviction. Are there challenges with women attaining the top positions? Absolutely. That's a challenge. So I figure out how to navigate that challenge. My daughters motivate me because I need them to know that there is absolutely nothing that they cannot achieve. I need them to know that you can be a housewife, completely and absolutely committed to your home, but also build a career that transforms lives. We need to get out of this mentality that marrying a rich husband is the next way to success. It is a fantastic thing. I'm married to a rich husband. I never said I wasn't, but I have an excellent job. I have a fantastic job. When I step into any room, I am called the director for government affairs. Nobody else will tell me. You must see yourself as a person that can contribute meaningfully to society. You can't sit on your hands and say that because you have a rich husband, therefore you throw away the investment that your parents made in your education straight into the bin just because you want to answer Mrs. Somebody and prance around with the most expensive things. You can answer Mrs. Somebody. You can prance around the most expensive things. I need you to see me when I'm not in work mode. If you don't see me, ask Abere about it. I am the most fancy person. When I walk into a room, whether I like it or not, I have the height, so people notice me. So when I put on my makeup, it's like, who is this? And I'm like, please, somebody calls me stainless. Call me that. I don't want anything to touch me. And my husband treats me like the egg that I am. But when I go into the workplace, I am a bulldog. And I am there to achieve my objectives. You can do both. Let no one ever tell you that you cannot.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Thank you so much for that. And that leads me to the next question. So many women struggle with imposter syndrome. And when I was planning this conference, that was one of the things that stood out for me. A lot of times you come out and say, I know I can do this thing, but I don't believe. There's something about believing you can do it and knowing you can do it. How were you able to identify that? And how were you able to overcome imposter syndrome? Because you literally just mentioned now that when you're in the room, you are in the room. So how were you able to overcome that? And how do you think women can overcome imposter syndrome?
I think I still have imposter syndrome, by the way. So I've not been able to shake that off. But I like that I still have it because it puts me on my toes, keeps me on my toes.
Right.
I talk to myself. That is one of the best things I do for myself. It annoys my family members, by the way. It annoys my husband sometimes. Like, you're not talking to yourself. My last one said to me the other day, Mommy, why are you talking to yourself? I talk to myself. I hate to sit on stage. I hate to be the center of attention. I really hate to do it. But you know what? It's like my job. It's a thing that I need to do. And anything that I'm going to do, I must succeed in it. So I get on with it. I don't ever sit down and dwell. That's one thing I never do. If there's been a setback, there's been a disappointment, I can be unhappy. But I never settle into my unhappiness. I never settle into and then camp there and then build you understand what I mean, right?
Right.
I don't do that. I get on with it. What has happened has happened. It happens. That's life. get on with it, move on. What's the next thing to do? It's important not to camp in misery. And I don't like miserable people around me, by the way. It's important not to camp in misery. Maybe that's one way that I deal with it. The song that I wanted, I don't want anyone to steal my song. Or you can steal it if you'd like. But the song that I wanted to ask for is Unstoppable by Sia. That is my song. There are times that I play it at the highest volume and I'm pumping, it's like fueling my fire. I am pumping myself with the words. And I love the fact that it is in the first person. So it says literally, I am unstoppable. I am a Porsche with no brakes. Please, I want to give you an assignment. When you get home, or if you will do it at some point, just do a quick search of the kinds of speed that a Porsche can attain, so that you understand when she says, I'm a Porsche with no brakes, what that means. Because literally, if you attain the maximum speed of a Porsche and it collides with anything, nothing survives it. Nothing survives such an impact. Meaning, once I move, I will demolish that challenge that we've identified. Once you move, you demolish the challenge. That is the mindset. I talk to myself. I overcome here before anything else.
Thank you so much, Mrs. John. Someone asked the question here that being a pure career woman like you, when do you think it's a point to call it quit in a particular job?
At a point, you start getting very uncomfortable. And by the way, please, if you haven't looked at your CV in a long time, please do that. Always try to develop the habit of updating your CV. I know it's difficult to do, but it's much easier when you are doing the job than later on, because you tend to forget achievements, you tend to forget a lot of things. When do you think that it's time? And I would say when you start getting really uncomfortable, when you start feeling like, I'm bigger than this role, I can actually do more. I think it's time. But if you recall, I said earlier, even when you want to leave, please don't burn bridges. Please don't. It's not a good habit. It's not a good habit and it could taint your reputation. So even if you want to leave, make sure you leave in such a way that you can always go back. Always do that. It's very important.
Thank you so much for that. And because of time, this will be the last question. So someone asked that if we were to focus on a niche, like if she has to focus on one thing, how do I push the other things outside that I do? For instance, I'm a fashionpreneur, a virtual assistant, and more. So which can I focus on and how do I?
It's going to be difficult for you to focus on one thing, except you have home commitments that force you to do that. I don't believe in focusing on one thing. In fact, I think that's part of the problem I'm having now because I'm not doing any course or anything at the moment. So I feel lazy. I feel like I'm not doing anything with my time. I feel like I'm just wasting away. So I don't think it's advisable for you to focus on one thing. I think you should learn to prioritize, because if I don't know if this is the case, but as a virtual assistant, I would imagine that is paying you a salary. So you need the earnings from there. But you're also a fashionpreneur, right? So you may not be earning as steadily as a as you would do in the virtual assistant role. So until you build the fashion business to a point where it is self-sustaining, I think stay in the two. But even when you build that business to that level, you must be thinking about what next, right? Whether it's expanding the business, whether it's, look, I know that this is not from the Bible, but truly, when you have idle time, you spend it doing I do things. So focus on business, focus on your job, prioritize, and try to build the business to become self-sustaining. But even after you've done that, look to the next level that you'd like to attain.
All right, on that note, thank you so much, Mrs. And before you came, we're going to dance to the unstoppable. But before you came, I said I was going to put all my speakers on the spot. So some people will be approaching you for mentorship and a mentorship opportunity. So please oblige them because of a very, because of me. Everybody, please let's give Mrs.
Can I give a
Yes.
caveat?
Yes,
I'd like
please.
to give a caveat to that. Before you approach me, I advise you very strongly to approach Ebere first. And I'll tell you why. I am a very tough person to be around. Extremely tough. I am very tough. My first daughter says that she thinks my standards are too high. They are incredibly high. I do not go for small things. I don't believe in small things. We go for the top. So if you're not ready to be pushed, please don't approach me. And I mean that with every respect. Please do not approach me. I will not be the best person for you. But if you know that you want to become the president of Nigeria,
Yes. On that note, please can we stand up as we all dance to our speaker's song?
please don't approach me. And I mean that with every respect. Please do not approach me. I will not be the best person for you. But if you know that you want to become the president of Nigeria,
Yes. On that note, please can we stand up as we all dance to our speaker's song?
please don't approach me. And I mean that with every respect. Please do not approach me. I will not be the best person for you. But if you know that you want to
Our speaker's song. Okay, maybe the song doesn't want it to be danced to. Thank you so much, Mr. Noy. Please can we give her a career smart woman appreciation?
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was so good. Are we having fun? Are we having fun? Career smart women, are we having fun? All right, so we're going to do something really quickly. Can we bring out our phones, please? Our phones, just pull out your phone, pull out your phone. Thank you, thank you. Can we have your selfie camera open? Can you just... Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe everyone has a phone. I believe so. All right, so our camera's up. Ensure you have someone in your frame. Ensure someone is in your frame. You can't be the only one. Ensure you have another career smart woman in your frame. And I'll tell us what we're going to be saying. So when I say career smart woman 2025, say rise, lead, and thrive. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, so this is a demo. Career smart woman 2025, rise, lead, and thrive. Thank you. Like I said, that was a demo. So now to the main one. To the main one. Ladies, to the main one. All right, so let's go. Career smart woman 2025. Lead and thrive. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so we can have our seats. We can have a seat. Thank you. So what you would be doing with this video, ensure that you make a post, upload it on your stories, and just tell them that this is happening. We are raising career smart women here. Be sure to tag Women in Career Advancement Network on Instagram, wecan_NG. I can see some women still taking pictures. I love the energy. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. That was amazing. And if you don't remember anything, do not forget, put your most strategic self forward. How many of us are putting our strategic self forward? Not my best self, my most strategic self. Thank you so much, man. We're going right to bring our next speaker up. Are we excited? I won't bring her up if I don't feel the energy. she would just go home. Are we excited? Make some noise! Thank you. So I'll be bringing our next speaker up shortly, and her name is Risai Jones Nuhu, and she looks so dazzling. Risai Jones Nuhu is a seasoned HR and administration expert, a strategic leader and entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience in international NGO settings. She is the founder of Fabulous Scents, so if you like to smell nice, you know who to go to. She's the founder of Fabulous Scents, a successful perfume brand. She combines her strategic leadership skills with entrepreneurship. She's skilled at talent management, performance optimization, contract management, and fostering inclusive work environment. Ladies and gentle ladies, with a standing ovation, please make welcome Risai Jones Nuhu. Unfortunately, our song is not coming up, so she may not dance. So she's free, but she will dance at the end, right? All right, please make her feel loved and welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with all of you, to spend our Saturdays together. I want to thank all the speakers that have spoken so far and those yet to speak. I can see my girls in the room. Salom, hi, Gracie. And I want to especially thank my Odogu. My Odogu is here. Okay, so we have not so much time, so I'll run through my slides quickly. We'll make it practical. We're having a chat. All of you here are the real MVPs. Let's talk. Let's relate. Let's bring it home. What are we struggling? Maybe because I'm putting my HR cap on here now. What do you need to do on the job? How do you rise above the challenges? Like the second speaker spoke, it's not easy, it's not like a stroll in the park, no. Being a career smart woman is hard work. You'll meet challenges, but you have everything in you to rise above them, right? So never feel like you can't do it. You have everything in you to rise above them. Use the system and what you have to rise above the tides. I know life happens. Life will happen. Sometimes your back hits the floor, but don't stay there. Rise up quickly and jump up. I always tell my sons, I'm a boy mom, and I say to my sons, sometimes life happens, you hit, your back touches the ground. Don't stay there. Rise up. Learn from it. Turn your pain to power. Don't waste your wounds. Turn it to wisdom. Right? So we'll just go straight. My topic for today, what we'll be talking about is navigating career growth and leadership. And we are looking at the women-focused strategy because the women event, right? Next slide, please. So we'll talk about understanding career growth, developing leadership skills, strategies for climbing the corporate for women, and creating an action plan. Let's go. You can't hear me? Okay, that's fine. Next, please. Okay, so what is growth? Growth just means progression. How do I rise on that job that I found myself? How do I rise in my business? How do I make it grow? Right? So for the career growth, since we are talking about career, is rising or progressing. Progressing in your job responsibilities, your skill enhancement, your professional development, and I want to add your personal development, right? It's not just about promotion, it's about rising, it's like progressing. Okay, I come on the job now, and I want to stay here a bit. A lot of us, I can see a lot of us are young women, right? When you get on the job, don't take for granted your orientation and onboarding time. Pay attention to it. When you get a job, you have your onboarding, you have your orientation. That's when you get to meet the teams. You meet the HR team, you meet accounting, you meet programs, you meet several teams. You meet several teams in the office. It's a good time to ask your supervisor or your team lead, what are my expectations for this role? What are the key performance areas that that you need me to perform on. Some of the areas could easily be the quality of work, the quantity of work, right? Learn those things, your professional conduct, ethics. Your employee handbook is your friend. You get to work, ask for your job description. Understand your job description. Why am I here? What am I to do? How do I do my job? Understand your job description. Please read your employee handbook. Study the room. You know how they say study the room? Don't just enter, you have to learn. There are some supple policies in the organization. You have to learn all those unwritten organizational culture, structure. Don't be too fast to just be everywhere. You must conduct yourself. So those things are important. Have your goals. Your personal goals and your professional goals should align. What do I want to do in the next 5 years? So when you have those areas, your key performance areas, you're talking about them, and have a brag sheet as you progress. Okay, some people brag. Okay, just have like an achievement sheet, let's call it. For the things you achieve on the job, big or small, please write them down. Have like a Word document that you would include all those things that you are achieving on the job. Because your performance evaluation will come. And that's another time you should take seriously. It's not just religious process and following the motions. No. Your performance evaluation is important. Take it as one of the high points in your job. The first and the second speakers have said a lot about being emotionally intelligent and all. So I don't want to overflog that. But we're going to look at points that we can like practical things that I know are your mind. Okay, what can I do? Being this career smart woman, I want to do ABC. Keep your goals before you. On your laptop, you can have like a note that you see every month. These are my 5 major goals for the next 5 years, for the next performance year. Very important. Skill enhancement. Always enhance your skills. If you happen to be an organization that has like a staff portal where there are trainings and all, take advantage of it. Be part of those trainings, take them. Start to take the free trainings before you now think of saving money to take the expensive ones. Look for mentorships. Learn on the job. Learn on the job. Learn on the job. Be open. Be flexible. Learn on the job. Next one. Next slide. Okay. Yeah. So part of it is the first speaker said, or the second one of the speakers said, you do not have to be in your own role. You're a leader. A leader just means someone that can influence another, right? What the leader does is influencing, is inspiring, is motivating. We're trying to reach a goal here, to achieve the vision. So in your place, it doesn't have to be big, just be that. In my own room, let me be the first person to always go for meetings, staff meetings. You know how people drag their pen? Go early, be attentive, take your notes and your pen. And women, please, in the meeting room, talk. Don't let anybody muffle your voice. Always, even if you have, let me tell you one tip. If you have something to say, even if somebody has said it and it's still your idea, you can tweak it. And you can connect it. So as so person said, or as Tracy said, as Grace said, as Sanom said, I want to add this and this, and you say it. Never let anybody get under your skin. Emotional intelligence. No, I had a boss. His name is Aubrey. No matter how upset or livid Aubrey is, you can't know. You don't get under Aubrey's skin. He would manage his emotions, communicate clearly, and it wouldn't ruffle him. Always separate personal from professional. Behave professional at all times. Be ethical. They should know you. Oh, if it's this person, should be on time to the meeting. She will conduct her well and be gracious. But women, demure. Use your feminine. Be gracious. Even if you're angry and you're saying something to someone that has offended you, you can do it in a gracious way. But you shouldn't be the loudest in the room. Be gracious, be timely, right? So be decisive. Our second speaker emphasized on that, so we don't need to go this. Be decisive. Be a person of integrity and ethics. This person will not be in any fraudulent thing. This is a touchy one, but as much as possible, leave office romance alone. Your focus should be your focus. That's not why you're there. You're there to earn and to learn. In HR, we say, at least if you're not going to earn, learn. But most importantly, do the two. Earn and learn. Don't worry. Do not despise the days of little beginnings. Your salary might not be the most fantastic at that time. But my sister here will talk on the financial part of things. But from day one, start to save. Because sometimes start to save, milk your job. 9 to 5 is great. Being an entrepreneur is great. I'm on both sides, I know. Milk your job. Learn as much as possible. From what you earn, save. The time you're not earning like you want, you're learning. Learning is a learning curve. Keep learning, keep learning. We have many free portals to learn. We have Allison.com, we have Udemy, find them. YouTube is your friend, Google is your friend. You have an area you're struggling in at the workplace. I'm trying to bring practicality to it. You have an area next to it, you're struggling at the workplace. Binge watch the topic. Understand it. Prepare yourself for it. Learn to communicate your thoughts clearly how you feel. It's not wrong to say how you feel, but clearly, calmly, professional. Be professional at all times and demure. Don't try to be like the men, you know. Be demure. Graceful in your communications. Next, please. Sorry, I'm running fast. I have 20 minutes and the timer. Yes. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a superpower. You must recognize your emotions, know your emotions, manage them, understand it, and also know the emotions of the people that you work with. Emotional intelligence enhances your personal and professional life and your relationships. Someone spoke about, you see guys on the job, they will argue, after that meeting, my colleagues on break will gather themselves, maybe they're going to check one real estate. They finish cooking and one way women will hold it, you're not greeting. No, it can't be you. No bad habit. If she offended you there and there, after that minute, see how you feel, drop it. Tomorrow be the first person to greet the person. It doesn't take anything from you. Let it not be heard that you're the one not talking to your colleague as well. Why? No, we don't do bad habits. Career smart women, no, we don't have bad habits. We must be focused and ethical at all times. So please, work on emotional intelligence. I know our emotions, yes, the menstrual cycle, all those things come in, right? If you don't feel good, go to your bathroom. Somebody has opened it, you can shut the door, hold them and scream. Then go out back. Have trusted people outside the job also that you can vent to, right? Next slide, please. Next slide. Good. We talk about climbing this corporate ladder. It's not rocket science, so it's just knowing what to do per time. Set clear goals, like I already said. Define your goals. Set your goals. Who are you? What are you there for? Let your focus be your focus. You're not there to be like, no. Do your job. Focus on your focus. Learn the ethics of the job. Read the room. Be professional. Treat people with respect. Be kind to everyone. Be kind to everyone. I want to bring a personal touch to this. I used to work in an oil and gas. before I joined the NGO that I worked for about 14 years plus, right? The driver, one of the drivers was the person that came to me and said, "Oh, madam, I heard of this place." Respect. We had a secretary that, "Oh, that John, good morning, sir. I'm happy to see you." It's okay. Don't come with that. So, let's always treat people with respect. So, now, except the current role that you're in, yes, I always say look for goals higher than you. Yes, you dream to be the manager someday, CEO, assistant, but the work that you're doing, do it well. Do it well. Pay attention to details. You see all those things we write on the job advert, we mean it. Pay attention to details. We want you to work with minimal supervision. All those, Google it. Ask people that have gone before you. That's why you would learn. Network. In the office, network. Here now as we are, we will network now. I'll say, "Hi, nice to meet you. Can I have your number?" Like our first speaker now, I'll call that number. I know Vivian's like, I'll look for some. Network. Don't feel too big to network. Then develop leadership skills. We've said it, but it's important. Communication, decision making, emotional intelligence, problem solving, and all. Continuous learning. Start today. It's so much for us to hear all these things and not do. Apply knowledge. Do. It's beyond hearing, it's the doing. When you go home, if you have not, just allison.com. Even from here now, just click allison.com. Subscribe. Do a course. If you're in HR, learn HR. If you're in accounting, learn accounting. If you want to be better at anything, learn it. Start with the free ones before you're able, because most times people say, I don't have money. Well, the next one, to register for those courses. There are many free platforms. Breaking barriers for women. I believe that this platform helps us to unlearn, learn, and relearn. All those stereotypes, all those biases, I want us to drop them. We can shatter those glass ceilings. We can do it. We have the Ikua Worshippers. They did it. She was the first chairperson, first female chairperson. We can do it. There are a lot of things we can do. So drop the biases. All those. It's okay to negotiate your pay. Men, pay? Guys, when you were meeting girl, no, so you see a woman with the qualification, plenty things. The guy that will come, if you say I'll negotiate his salary, but the woman will come, she's like, hey, let me give you free tip, negotiate the salary, know the range, okay, to ask the HR recruitment, what is your range? And negotiate it, believe in yourself. So that's why we still struggle with this gender pay gap. A man and a woman do the same role, but the men are earning more in most cases. And I want to appeal to, this is the appeal, to the bosses in here, the managers and all. Please help the women coming up. Let us start to advocate for the things we want to see at the workplace. I know a lot of maybe organizations here are maybe for profit. I've been in non-for-profit for a long time, right? I know people have goals and targets and this. Yes, we have objectives and all. They tell us indicators and things to stand on. Member and neighbors will know that to achieve our success stories and all. But I notice in the workspace, it's easier for the men to help the guys. The women, please, women leaders, help the younger women coming up. Let's advocate for the things that are important. You're a manager and you see that they just employed a team member for you. And the pay is not looking cute based on the range. Speak up for her. It's not bad. Right? We need to encourage women and support the women. We need to advocate. Think of policies. There was a time that we only had maternity leave in my office. only maternity leave, and the men are located. We will say that it's not on the what they call labor law, but it's okay to speak to your employer and ask for some things. So just do some advocacy, and eventually we put the paternity leave. What are the things? And this is my request to the women bosses. What are the things that we can advocate for women at the workplace? Let's not leave all the hanging fruits. Let's put them down. What do we want? Do you want them to have, for instance, during menstrual cycle pads, drop pads in the safe haven? Okay, restroom. Okay, if it's not shared restroom, in the female restroom, we do a cute cabinet, and we have sanitary things for women that makes the process of the period easy and maybe practicable. So just those kind of things. Let us be leaders that think of ourselves. Read stories of women leaders that have gone before us. Okay. next. Sorry, I'm rounding up. So now, create an action plan. Your goals should be SMART. We've talked about it. We cannot ourselves specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You can't come as an assistant and you want after 1 year you become the manager of the team. Calm down. We have a process. Like for me, on my role, I went from assistant to senior assistant, officer to manager. Be patient, learn. It should be more about learning. Build a support system. Track your progress. Because performance evaluation will come in June or July. I don't know where your organizations do it. So track your progress. Then celebrate your achievements. They gave you Employer of the Year. Why not? Celebrate it. Put it on. Celebrate your friends. You're happy. If you have money to buy more, you see that I love my organization. Fine for everybody. Celebrate your achievements. It's like a home. It will encourage you to do better. Next slide. So, thank you. I have a pro tip. I'm sorry. I know there are some people here that are asking, okay, how I'm searching for a job. I do not have a job. I'm just being real. There's some people that really want employment or they want better. It's just simple tips. Check online. We have My Job Man, we have Relief Web, we have Impact Home, and apply. Be hopeful, have faith, be audacious, have faith. That okay, if I apply, I'll get the job. Check newspapers, Guardian, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right? It's just a pro trip. It just dropped in my mind and I thought to share. But thank you so much for your time. Like I said, you're doing that with me. Wishing everybody success in their career, growth, and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you. A better round of applause. This is just on the side. She said she came here with a double parama, and he has been smiling. So let's celebrate him for coming with his wife. Okay. Achalo is smiling very much here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being here and supporting her. So we just got started, like I was saying. There's so much to say, there's so much to learn. But I took this from her. She said, if you're not earning, at least be learning. Not that you're not earning, you're not learning, you're just doing yourself a disservice. So thank you so much once again, man. The next week I'm about to bring up energy. I love the energy that she brings. Okay, all right. So I'm going to bring up our next speaker, and I'll just read her an abridged version. An abridged version, please. Ms. Uche Okoro is a distinguished educator and an expert in early years education with vast experience in curriculum implementation and teacher training. She specializes in British Early Years Framework, and she's the founder of Early Years Home. She wants to use her time, so I won't use her photo. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Okay. I won't dance, don't worry. So I'd rather use my time to speak, and then I think the short profile is on Instagram. If you want to know more about me, you can read that, right? So like she said, I'm an educator, and how many of you like to sing? I don't know how I'm going to maintain this area. I'm a busybody. I like to move. Okay, I'll try. How many of you like to sing? Sing, sing. Well, whether you like to sing or not, you will sing. I just asked for courtesy, right? Okay, so I'm going to see how I'm going to divide this room into two. Okay, so, fairly, there's a line here, right? So this is one group, this is another group. So we're going to do this quickly. For a lot of you that have been at any of my trainings or workshops, you know I always do this. So this group, a Pizza Hut. Oh, how am I going to stay in one place? Help me. Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Can you say that? I need energy. You failed. I started from somewhere. A Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Let's go. Okay, this way. McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to sing it, right? You guys are going to say a Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Can I hear you? Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Okay? You guys are saying McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Okay, so you're going to start and they're going to continue, right? So once I do this, you swap. You start saying a Pizza Hut, you start saying McDonald's. Can we practice? You know, I used my time for introduction. So don't show me that screen. All right, are we ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. A Pizza Hut. Let's go. McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut.
Wow. Fire.
The competition hasn't started. You know the drill now, right? Okay, so I want to see the winning team. Are we ready? All right, in 3, 2, 1. Remember, when I do this, I'm not going to say swap out. In 3, 2, 1, go. Faster. Okay, so we don't have a winning team, right? Yes, no. Let's. We don't have a winning team. Everybody did well. Amazing. Okay, so I'm quickly just going to speak. I don't know the time they gave me, but if you know me, you know that I like to talk. I'm a talkative. I talk for a living. It's bringing me money, isn't it? Okay. So I've been in the education industry for 23 years. I'm sure a lot of you will be looking at me like, is she that old? I started in 2002. I had just finished secondary school. I know you're waiting to write JAMB and to get into university, right? And then my dad was driving past a school in Maitama then. And I said, I want to work here. And he looked at me, this small girl that just finished school. But anyways, to cut the long story short, that's how my journey started. And I have been able to climb up. I tell people that in the education industry, the ladder is not so high. You're a teaching assistant, you're a class teacher, you probably just own a school, right? That's the highest. But you can actually do more than that. I tell people that I cannot own a school in Nigeria. me like this, I can't. And people say, why? You have a lot of experience. I tell them, no. Any school I own, Nigerians will not come. Because you see what? Your children will come and play. You will not pay for them to play. I understand milestones. I don't understand grades. And so if you enroll your children in my school, I'm not going to tell you they came first. I'm going to tell you they're able to speak to me, looking at me. And you're wondering, but they do that at home. I'm going to tell you that your probably 10 months should be able to move to sound, to be able to react when he hears a sound. So you see, I'm sure just looking at you, a lot of you are wondering, I know you'll go to school. Don't worry, I know you'll get to school. So there's no need to give yourself headache. You know, but it has taken me a lot. I tell people that what I know in here, you can never take it away from me. You can steal my laptop, don't steal it. But what I know here, you can never take away from me. And as a career smart woman, you must have that at the back of your mind. Most times, I remember she mentioned something about collaboration. A lot of us don't want people to steal from us. What you know, you took from someone. Now, why can't you just build on what you know? I'm just trying to be calm. I'm not because they put me here. I'm just trying to be calm. Right here. You know, but let me tell you something. Whichever place you find yourself, you must stand out. Now, I intentionally dressed this way to let you know that teachers have steez. Yeah. Because I know on top of our heads, a lot of us are saying, she didn't wear one tired looking wig and one suit that is coat that's going like this. Now, you're not going to see me dressed like that. You know, and the hair, you're probably wondering what is living inside. Because while growing up, now let me tell you something. If I had the mind of my teachers while growing up, I wouldn't have become a teacher. Because number one, they were wicked. The teachers of those days were not children of God. No, they didn't know Jesus. No, they didn't. Now, the teachers of these days were telling the child, you don't want to write? Please write. In which century? I hate math. I don't like math till tomorrow because of my math teacher. I would always wear shorts under my uniform, whether I know it or not. Why? He will flog me. But these days, you don't see that. So you see, teachers of these days, for me now, it's now I know that teaching is a career. But you know, the painful thing is a lot of us got into teaching because there was no job. You're in the wrong profession. I tell people that if you're going to be a teacher of excellence. Stand. I tell people when I walk into a room, you're listening to me now, aren't you? When I walk into a room, people listen. But I'm a teacher. Onye nkuzi. What do you call teacher in Yoruba? Eh? It sounds like abuse. What do you call teacher in Hausa? Huh? Malama. No, that one is worse. I stick to Onye Nkuzi. That's the one I stick to. So when you walk into a room, right, people should listen. You should command respect. When I started 2002, I started as, I won't even call it a teaching assistant. I was just sit here because, of course, remember, I was fresh out of secondary school. So just sit here, make sure the children are not crying. But look at 23 years later, you're looking at a global speaker. Yes, clap, please. Don't be jealous. You don't need to be jealous. Right? But you know what? I built myself. Now I can stand and somebody will tell me, come and set up a school, and I will sit down and I will give you the bill. I am a teacher. Right? But I stand out in what I am doing. I didn't just say, oh, because I'm a teacher. Like I said, a lot of us are teachers today because we have one parent that has decided to dash us a bag. Or we like the holidays. But let me burst your bubble. These days, teachers don't go on holidays. That's the first thing. Don't see teaching as a means to an end. Don't see teaching as something you do because there's nothing else to do. you will not stand out. And I know the second to the last speaker, Mrs. Ujam, said something that you can do too many things. I just beg to differ a little bit. And she said, you must find something and you must be known by that thing. You cannot be jack of all trades and master of none. I can be a moderator, I can be an MC, but you see, when you say education, I come to your mind. I can decide to sell Zobo tomorrow, but you see, there is something that I have done for 23 years that if you wake me up, I can say it without reading a book. When we came in, I saw laptops, and I said to Eniola, I said, I don't have Slido. I don't use Slido, because even if I put slide, I will not look at it. It's not arrogance. It's not pride. I speak from within. I speak from my experience. I tell you what I have done that has worked for me. Now, a lot of us as teachers are still in the teaching assistant position, but all we do is complain. All we do is wait for the school to train us. Just like she said, there are a lot of free courses online. What are you doing to make you stand out as a teacher? I like to use the word educator, really, so that you don't think teacher is from the village, right? But what are you doing to stand out? I tell people, as much as you want to say that teaching is a career, it is a calling. And I tell people, in all sincerity, if you were not called to do it, don't do it. You will kill somebody's child. Because you see, teachers will go with makeup, eyelashes, as they are leaving home, one lash is on the floor. Because there's one child that you just want to sit on and you just want to beat up somebody else's child. But like she said, you must know the ethics of your workplace. You can't just be screaming at children. You can't just be shouting, because you know what? Those children are watching. I'll tell you a practical story. I think it was 2008. I had a friend, then I was working in a school, and then I had a friend, you know when you get to work, like the early birds, you come to work early and then you just relax and you're gisting. So I sat on my desk, right? And I was just laughing away and my friend was gisting with me. And we were just laughing, you know how you're just laughing? And so a child, had been observing, I didn't know. And so the mom came and said, Miss Luce, Angela said she would like to be like you when she grows up. Just imagine my excitement. Oh, amazing. Oh, I've touched someone's life. And the mother said, no, hold up. She said when she gets to work, she would like to sit on her desk, gist with her friends, and be laughing. And then maybe I didn't hear well. I said, so this child that comes to school every day, I will break my back to teach. The only thing she got is sitting down on the desk, laughing. And at that point in time, I just felt I have failed. But no, what I did was I just told my friend, I said, anytime I want to gist, let it be when the children have gone. Sometimes I have children come to me and say, your nails are so beautiful. Your hair is so nice. You look beautiful. But I'm an educator. Some of us as educators, we don't even bother. We just go with one because it's black trouser. We have worn it all semester. And then by the time you are washing it, you are wondering, did you sleep in the sand? We don't even bother to make our hair. I know a lot of people have spoken about decisiveness. I'm talking to you now as an educator, or one educator that knows one educator. You must stand out. Now, if you walk into a room as a management staff of a school, let me tell you something. Before I hear you speak, I look at you. Because you're teaching young lives who are getting that mentality that this is how I should look. And so no matter what you want to tell me that comes out of your mouth, if your hair is flying up and down, I'm not even interested in knowing if you have a master's degree. Because you must portray yourself well. And so I'm here to debunk that theory or that mindset that teachers must look or behave in a certain way. Now, if you've never met me before and you see me outside, you will probably never know I'm a teacher. Will you? Until I start to tell you, or until I start to eye you the way I eye my children, before you would know. But you know what? I chose to be in this. I would have chosen any other thing. I tell people that if I had walked in another place, they would have sacked me in under 1 month. Because there are different other rewarding careers, right? There is a now. Let me say this here. The reward of the teacher is not in heaven. No. It's not in heaven. So just in case you go for an interview and they ask you how much do you want to collect, don't start thinking, I'm doing it for God. No, you're not doing it for God. That is the wrong idea to have as a career smart woman. You must be paid for your value. The only time you would say you are doing it for God is when you don't value yourself. Because as I am like this now, there's no I'm doing it for God that will take me from here abroad and you will not pay me. No. Who is going to buy the flight ticket? Is it God? Who is going to pay the hotel? Oh, it's the Holy Spirit. I see. That can't work. So you must be able to see yourself as a valuable person first. A lot of times, people in the education system, especially teachers, we just see ourselves as less than what a doctor or a lawyer or a banker. Now, let me tell you, you make the parents look at you the way they want to look at you. A parent is seeing you on the way and is giving you 2,000 naira. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. At least I have transport. Thank you, ma'am. And then you're waiting for the end of the term. Now, I'm speaking this way because I'm an educator. So if you don't know what I'm saying, I'm sorry. Right? That is what I know. And so we give the parents the impression that we are hungry. This is just on a lighter note. A friend of ours, right, said something that he would not take his children to a particular school, and I know you know what I'm talking about, because the teachers are always standing on the road waiting for keke. Did you get that? That he would not enroll his children in a particular school because the teachers are always standing for keke. You people didn't like that one. You don't like it. He's looking down on you. Now, and so me, I felt attacked because I was a teacher, but I decided to listen to what he said. And he said, for someone who has their bills hanging, how will they focus on my children? So if a teacher has to leave school at 5 and is standing in the hot sun waiting for keke, preparing the next day, of course she's going to come grumpy. My children are not going to get anything. But again, that is the situation you find yourself. You mustn't carry it on top of your head. You mustn't. I know a lot of times people say, whatever problems you have, drop it at the gate. It's not a cliche, it's the fact. As a teacher, you come and you're telling the child, you better write this thing now. Not because of a family problem. At the end of the time, your mother will say, you didn't write. It's not my fault, right? But you are thinking, the rights in my house is finished. That's why I said it's a calling. As much as you see teaching as a career, it's a calling. If you're not called to do it, I always tell people, anytime I'm saying this, please go and resign. I will not give you workshop, but go and resign. Right? Because you're definitely in the wrong career. And that is why, like I said, you cannot see yourself going higher than where you are. I started as a teaching assistant. In fact, it was not even teaching assistant. It was sit down, tell people when I'm in the office and when I'm not in the office. But now, I've been a head of school. I'm an education consultant. I'm a global speaker. So you moved, right? And trust me, my family is not suffering because I know there's work-life balance there. If I don't want to do anything, I know how to create boundaries. You will always be upset, either by a child or your colleague or your boss. And then you think that as a teacher, if you're always upset, you're going to succeed. You will not succeed. So you must know how to sieve. I tell people that what has worked for me is selective hearing. You might be talking to me, I'm just picking the ones that my spirit wants to pick. And I'm leaving the rest wherever it is. So as a career smart woman, especially in the education sector, you must see yourself as more than where I am now. I'm going somewhere to happen. I am valuable. When I step into a room, I should command attention. I should command attention. I shouldn't beg for your attention. And that's why I tell people that the E in the extraordinary as a teacher is what makes you stand out. Thank you very much.
I told you. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. And just in case you're saying, no, I don't work in education, just know that this applies to every sector. There are principles here that you can learn and you can apply to every sector. Thank you once again, man. Thank you. We have a panel session and I've been waiting for this. Questions and the panelists will be able to take some. Okay. I'm bringing up my panelists now. I have three wonderful women who will be joining me for this panel session. Please, a round of applause as they come forward. Of course, Uche Okoro. So much for this energy she has given us. This is how we can do. She didn't give energy, but I don't think so, but that's okay. This is Oluchi Iseko. And of course, Rasai Jones Nuhu. That's it. Good afternoon, career smart women indeed. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for taking our time to be on this panel. So we have about 30 minutes, so I'll just please plead that we keep our answers short, straight to the point as much as we can, so we can take as many questions as possible. Thank you once again. So I will start with this Uche Okoro. Okay, I'll start with you. How did you, I know you've spoken a bit about it, how you just found yourself in education. So how was that journey like for you? Is it something you stumbled into? Was it something you had thought about before? And there's so many young people here who are looking for their passion, like it's missing, like what am I passionate about? How do I do it? So what would you say?
Okay, first of all, I never ever thought I'd become an educator. Like I said, I had very heartless, for lack of a better word, teachers.
Especially your maths teacher.
Especially my math teacher. You know, so I never thought that I would be an educator. But when I started, I realized that this is something that I really love to do. I love children, right? And so when I got into the...
So for that young person that is saying, oh, I'm clueless, I don't know what I'm passionate about. So what would you say to them?
You must know something that you gravitate towards, right? There must be something that you fall in love with. That's how you, for me, that's how you know what you... Now, as a young person, you might have something like, I know a lot of us, when we're younger, we wanted to be a doctor. Next week, we changed to be a fashionista. Next week, but there must be something that calls you. There's something that draws you always, no matter where you see it. This thing keeps speaking to you. You might want to look into that.
Oh, okay. I think that's very profound. What draws you from within? Just look into that. So, yes, for Mrs. Oluchi, you work in a, will I say, a male-dominated sector, operations and all of that. So, how has it been like for you being there? At that time, you feel like you're not going to be there. Has it been like for you generally?
All right, so thank you very much once again. I think you first have to start working on your mindset from in here. I never, and for some of you, this may not be the case, but I never had a setting or a background where men were special in any way. I mean, not that women were special, but neither were men. In my family, my mother was a lioness, and I saw her work, I saw her hustle, I saw her take care of things. Even before I started working I was already very active. I already had businesses going. So when I started working, I always said, I'm going to be at the top, whatever this is, whatever the pathway, I'm going to be at the top, and I'm going to be at the top in a short time. Of course, events happen, but when I find myself in rooms, I am happier, and maybe that's not a good word, but I prefer it when I have an advantage. And so people get into the rooms and see themselves as the only female and say, I am disadvantaged. No, when I get into a room and I figure out I am in the minority, that's an advantage. There are meetings that we need to attend, and I tell them, look, let me take this, let me lead, allow me lead, especially with men. There is this rub off and they're like fighting. So when we get into meetings and the tension is, I come in and I exploit my femininity. I know some of you feel like when you come in, you now have to be brass or whatever. I dress like a woman, I talk like a woman, I do the things women do. And so I am different. It's never a disadvantage. In fact, that's been a strong part.
I think it's very interesting because I feel our perspective in life really shapes how we see things. So you see the advantage and disadvantage. So perspective really matters. And for you, Mrs. Jones, in fact, I had seen a question on Steve, and I just thought I should throw it to you. If someone is talking about salary negotiations, I said, like, how do I negotiate my salary? I think you had asked us to, that the interviewer would ask for a range, say, give me a range. And she said, question is, what if the interviewer doesn't want to give me a range? What do I do?
Hello? Okay. So negotiating your salary, a lot of the organizations, especially for organizations that are structured, they have a salary range, right? But some organizations don't have that. Based on your competencies and education level and your experience, you can do a search. Google is your friend. Find what people with your education level, years of experience, skills, and competencies earn, and work with that range. Be honest to yourself. Okay, and be sure of the value that you will bring. The job advert, read the job advert. There are requirements on the job advert that says, we need you to do so. These are the number of years of education you need. These are the skills that you need. If the organization is not willing to do, if they're doing pay secrecy, find out on Google, do your research, ask your peers in other organizations in that sector. Okay, give me a range of what you earn. So you can always do a research to find out the range. And when they say, okay, what are your salary expectations? You can give a range. When they say specify, give what you want to earn. Yes. But there's always a way around it. But most organizations now try to structure their HR and have a salary range. Ask for the range and pick a figure within the range.
Okay, and while you even had your session, you had mentioned that YouTube is your friend, Google is your friend. So we have lots of friends that we could find out this stage from. So back to Oluchi. I know you're a very busy woman. I can see it. When you were speaking, I'm like, this woman is busy. So is there anything like a balance? You know, we've spoken about work-life balance. Does anything even exist? Is it even possible to live a balanced life?
I know people shy away from that question. I'm going to be brass and take all the hits. Yeah, I'm going to be busy. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
How many of us are heartbroken?
I'm sorry. It doesn't exist. There is really no such balance. I think balance is the wrong word. Yeah, I think balance is the wrong word. What we want to do is we want to align. We want to align stuff in our lives to who we are. It's important for me that you define yourself from the word get-go. Who do I want to be? I want to be a leader. I don't want to be anything else. But that's me. I have people who don't want to be anywhere near the center of where it's happening. And I feel that way sometimes, but I know that this That's that word gravitate. I gravitate towards this. So this is what you do. At different stages of your life, different things are going to take priority. I like when Mrs. Noya Ojam said something, but from what I can tell from her life, there was a time where she just focused on family, children, do that stuff, right? And there's a stage in your life when those children are going to need to come up. When that stage is passed, don't wait for them. That's if this is what you want to do. But if that is what you want to do, then forget all of us and focus on that. But just know that you are not balanced. You are heavy on the family side. So when that stage passes, then you come to this place and you give it your time. And then you balance it. The balance changes as you grow. But what I like, the word I like is alignment. Does it align to who I am? I don't have friends. It is. I mean, there are people who don't have friends. My own, we are having retreats for it now. And so I need to work on that area of my life. But why I'm not giving it as much as attention as it should get is that it doesn't really align to the busyness of the life I feel called to. Doesn't really give space for nights out, for retreats, for fun times, for after. It's I am extreme on this side. I tolerate it because it aligns. If it doesn't align, I'll show it out. So seek alignment. Figure out who you are and let every other thing align to that thing. Balance is a myth.
Balance is a myth. Alignment over balance. That was very profound. She deserves a round of applause. I think. Thank you. So back to Mrs. Rasai. So I'm speaking to those that are looking to transition. There's been a wave of tech now, where lots of tech space, people are transitioning into tech. So how can one transition without necessarily starting again? So what strategy, what skill would we require if we're going to transition from that career path? What would you advise?
IT guy or the IT staff, your friend. Learn one or two things. Start to learn, pick interest. We say collaboration by doing. There are some things that show interest in that department, and gradually start to learn. Train on those things. Like I always said, YouTube is your friend, Google is your friend. The learning platform in the organization is your friend. So learn those IT things. Even in the career that you are in, so for instance, I do HR. I want to transition or do IT. I will learn IT skills that enhance my HR career. But start from where you are. Learn gradually. Collaborate with the team, the IT team in your office, and learn from YouTube. Then gradually you can take courses. When you're on leave, that's a good time. Go take courses on the IT part of things or the career that you want to transition to and start learning it. Take courses, get certification, and you start to apply. Then you transition to that place and find mentors and people that have done well in that place. The mentors will guide you. It's just like holding your hands and saying, okay, I need to do more of these courses. For instance, you want to do programming or you want to go into cybersecurity, right there, pick interest in that, binge watch it on YouTube first. Be sure that is what you want to do before you transition now and you have career shock. So it's important that you understand what you're going into.
All right, I like that you said start from where you are. We're awesome and we can start. So back to Ms. Uche. You seem to be a very confident person to me. You are a very confident person. We could all tell that this woman is confident. But how did you get there? Because whether we like it or not, there are a lot of women who are sitting here and dealing with low self-esteem. They know they can do this, but how do we break through out of these shackles of self-esteem? So how was it like for you? Have you always been this confident? How did you grow just doing that? People would respect me when I walk into a room. How was your journey like?
Okay, so I like that you asked that question because I wasn't always a confident person. So I'm very hairy, right?
Yeah.
And you know Esau in the Bible. So I went to an all-girls secondary school, Queen's College in Lagos. And I think that most of the time, nobody remembered my name as Uche. They called me Iso. Yeah. For the six years, right? For the 6 years I was in school, I think most people called me Iso. I felt really, really bad. You know, I felt like, why would they be calling me a man because of my hair? And a lot of people would have thought that I would take it out. But I said something, I said, I am unique, right? So if I'm hairy, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. God is hairy. Like, duh, I'm made in his image. So I am beautiful, right? And then I think it was when I worked in a school, we had an event, and I was asked to anchor the event. And the fact that I was saying things and people were following what I was saying made me, think, okay, I command some form of authority. And that was how it started. So I would say I had to also talk to myself. Seriously, it's not a cliche. I actually told myself that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And if I'm like this, God is like this, really. And that also helped me. And then just speaking and people listening. I think right now there is no room I would walk into that I cannot speak. As long as my mouth is there, I will speak.
Okay, thank you so much. And I've been going through the questions, and I can see a couple of questions that are pointing back to imposter syndrome. And I'm wondering what's happening. So I would continue the conversation with you here. Can you just speak to this person who is dealing with imposter syndrome? Because
Okay, just like Mrs. Nonyelu Ujam said, there's still imposter syndrome because there are certain times you want to do something, and the first thing that comes to your mind, will people accept it? Will they? That is important. Just in case you don't know what imposter syndrome is when you kind of doubt yourself. If I stand up to speak, will people listen to me? So I will tell you a major imposter syndrome, whatever, happened to me last month. So like I said, I was invited to come and speak at International School Leaders Conference in UK last month. And then I sat in that room. Before they introduced me, I looked at everybody. You know, sometimes you're speaking and white people are looking at you like, is it not nonsense that is going to come out of her mouth? And then I saw their faces and I looked at myself and I said, where am I going to start from? Like, these are people who are big names around the world in this, in this room. And then I just started to speak. Do you understand? I just started to say, if I'm talking nonsense, enjoy my nonsense. My nonsense will make sense to me, and it will make sense to somebody. So just like I said to her earlier, once you tell yourself that there's something inside of me that somebody needs, regardless of the applause you have, whatever I am saying, somebody there needs it. You need to first let yourself know, like she said, you need to first let yourself know that I am of value, regardless. If I'm telling you now, braid your hair in stitches, and your might look at me like, I don't like stitches. Somebody likes stitches. So whatever I am saying is of value to somebody. And then when you look at the room, do you know what boosts confidence when you're talking and people are nodding your head? So even if it's nonsense, as long as Eniola is doing like this, I'm making sense. Yeah, so just know within yourself that no matter what it is, you are of value. Imposter syndrome will come, but it shouldn't hold you down. It shouldn't tie you down. You learn when you fail. If you don't try, you don't even know how far you can go.
okay, thank you. So before we move on, I want us to do something. Can we have our right hands placed on our chest? Can we have just where are you doing national pledge? And just say, I am of value. I am of value. I am of value. Thank you. So we all know you are of value. So whenever you doubt yourself, just remember you are of value. Someone will nod their head when you're speaking. One person, who is one person? We have done something. All right, so Ms. Rista, I know you have a 9 to 5, you're an entrepreneur as well, and most times they tell us it's safe because it's still no economy. They say things like that. You have to have multiple streams of income. So this person is asking,
how do I manage a 9 to 5 and how do I manage a business? As we also, I know you've done it, so how's it been like for you?
So I like.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I was directed to her. Yes, I'm coming back to you now.
So majorly, it's just structure and systems. If you have a 9 to 5.